Hey there, and welcome back to Hold and Modify, YouTube's most poorly produced, underproduced Amiga program. And today, it's the Amiga 3000. Yes, the Amiga 3000. We're going to do a quick upgrade. For those of you that have been paying attention closely to my videos where I talk about all my Amigas, and you may have seen this little package here, in this staticky, sparky thing, coverage, anti-shock static package. Yeah, so this has been sitting here for quite some time.
This computer will rule the world.
Alright, so what this is one of those gotta go fast 256 megabyte boards. It's a memory expansion for the 3000 and 4000. Now I've already got one in my 4000 way over there, okay? But I never put it in my 3000, and this one was put together by Kazanov. He's kind of he's rather infamous now for all the right reasons in this Amiga community of ours. Kazanov, great job on this board. And what I want to do is go ahead and just slap this into the 3000. And you might ask yourself, well, wait a minute, wait. Why does an Amiga 3000 or an Amiga 1000 need so much memory? Look, back in the day, you would get a Zorro 3 card, like a fast lane card, and you could put like 128 megs on it, maybe 256 megs, I forget. Why do you need that? Well, there's a bunch of reasons. Most of it's because, you just want to show off, right? But now, one of the big reasons is that if you're involved in doing audio or video or graphics, right, this is where memory becomes really important, because if you're doing audio sampling, back in the day, you have to remember that not all of the audio samplers out there could record to disk. Like today we take it for granted. When you record audio, it just writes to your hard drive or whatever. But back in the Amiga days, you had to actually record audio. You had to digitize and sample audio using an external box, by the way, or a card installed in the Amiga, and it would actually write it to memory. So you would very, very quickly fill up your Amiga's memory trying to sample audio and do audio business and things like that. So very, very important that you need to have lots of memory for audio. Now, yes, later in the Amiga's life, they finally did develop tools that let you like buffer to memory and then it would write to the hard drive inside the Amiga, and it would give you that bigger expansion. The other reason is graphics, okay? So, for example, you might want to, you might be an artist and you're commissioned to paint graphics. And yes, we had all these amazing paint programs like DigiPaint, Deluxe Paint, Brilliance, Personal Paint, and they allowed you to work on these really big canvases. Like you could have, 4,000 pixels by 4,000 pixels, and it would give you like a proxy screen of a ham screen or a 32 color screen on the Amiga, or if it's AGA, you might get a 256 color proxy screen, and you would scroll around on the screen to paint your thing, but you needed the memory to store all the operations and things you're doing, and that's what this fast memory would allow you to do, really. I mean, you needed it, otherwise you were screwed. So yeah, there was a lot of artists out there that needed to be able to load up these giant, and by the way, 4,000 pixels by 4,000 pixels, that's nothing. Some artists were making these artworks that needed to go to print or to billboards, so even larger than that, on an Amiga. Like, how are they going to do it? Obviously, the Amiga, with all of its amazing might and power, it couldn't display, these 10,000 pixel images, but what it could do is let you scroll around on the screen, and you could, modify the image at a resolution that the Amiga supported, okay? That's important. But you still needed the memory to hold that giant image in RAM, and that's where that came into play. And then, of course, for me, more familiar, 3D animation, right? 3D Lightwave software with the animation. The more memory you have, the more things you can load, right? If you want to do Babylon 5 and, Babylon 5 takes on Star Wars, or Star Wars takes on Battlestar Galactica. If you want to have a bunch of AT-ATs marching along the train, blowing up the Babylon 5 station as it wheels down on a snow sled, you could do that, right? But you needed memory to do that. And that was extremely important. That's why you'd want that much memory, okay? Also, animations. If you want to make ham animation files, whether they're 320 by 240, or even the larger ones like D1 close, like 640 by 480 or whatever, memory is very important. There's some animation, there's some ham animations specifically that require a lot of memory. In fact, not too long ago, I think it was like last year, Doug had posted some Amiga Art Contest stuff where the ham animation files were gigantic. They needed like 120 megabytes of memory just to open up. Well, if your Amiga doesn't have 120 megs of memory, then you're out of luck, right? So, heck, if your Amiga has 128 megabytes of memory, your Amiga was still out of luck. But with this is going to give you 256 megabytes on top of whatever you got in there. And by the way, there's a Phase 5 accelerator card in here with 64 megabytes of memory on it, plus the 16 megabytes of memory on the 3000 motherboard. So with this, this is going to have all kinds of memory. Oh boy. Let me go ahead and open it up. We'll get this installed and hopefully everything works. Now, as some of you know, this is my always boots Amiga 3000. I'm very, very nervous opening it up. You know, I haven't opened this up in a long time. And for those of you who've been with my channel for the longest, you know this 3000 has an entire history of stuff that's gone on with it. It took many years to get this 3000 up and running. And yes, I keep calling it the Amiga 3000, but technically, yes, it's an RE or a Amiga 3000 from John Hertel, and it works great. It's fantastic, but it took a lot of work to get there. So I'm a little nervous, my Always Boot 3000, opening it up for one, and because, you know, in one of my prior videos I made, these Amigas are very sensitive. You start doing things to them, you start moving them around, opening them up, things can happen. Sometimes bad things can happen. Anyway, let's get back down here to the 3000. Let's go ahead and open it up and get this installed, and hopefully it'll be completely flawless and no concerns, and everything will be amazing. Yeah, I'm sure it will be. There she is. The 3000 opened up for the first time in a long time. As you know, as I've mentioned in prior videos, I don't keep all the screws in my Amigas. I did have the one screw that goes in the back of the case right there, just to kind of keep it secure. So I just tugged the top off, slid it off, and here we go. So what you're seeing right here, this big card on top is the Picasso 4. Yes, this Amiga 3000, despite its Phase 5 060, which is buried underneath the, yeah, it's just, you can't see it. It's gone. It's down there. And then there's my Zulu SCSI hiding out there. Okay, brilliant. The drive actually lives outside the Amiga. I keep it out there for convenience. So now, after looking at all of that, we have to get this into one of those slots down there. Here we go. Can you see that? Right there? Yeah. We've got to get that into one of those slots. Now, the sensible thing to do. By the way, John Hertel, look how good this stuff looks. This is his Amiga board, his Amiga 3000 board. Again, if you folks don't know what Amiga 3000 is, search my channel, look up my Amiga 3000 playlist. It's a whole thing. There's some ups and downs. I know I got a little fussy. After like year 2, I got a little impatient with John. I think I upset him, and I really apologize for that. But look, come on, you know, it's to be expected. But still, in the end, the board works, and it's awesome. But look how clean that board is. I mean, it's black. That's so cool. And it uses all the real chips. The only thing about the Amiga 3000 board that's not, you know, I guess technically original, the memory uses like SIM modules, and then the Kickstart area is slightly different. It still uses Kickstart ROMs, standard Kickstart ROMs, but it's slightly different. I'm not going to pull the whole thing apart to show you because I've got other videos you can go watch to see me do that. But anyway, I've got to get this card in one of these slots, and it would be a lot easier if I pulled the Picasso out. But if I pull the Picasso out, I am really, really scared that I could cause chaos, and I don't want to cause chaos. So I'm going to try, and I know this is probably not going to work, but I'm going to try and get this thing in there without pulling this out. Oh boy. And yeah, before any of you wonder, it does tell you right here, front. So when you're putting this in, because if you look at this, you're like, well, Q, this looks, how do you know which way it goes? Very important though, he puts front. This faces the front of the computer. If you put this in backwards, it will explode and you will have lost everything. So don't do that. Okay, so there you go. You can see she's in there. She's really close to that copper heatsink, but got her in there without having to take it all apart. In the Zorro slot, click it down, nice and solid. Lots of breathing room. That's my X-Surf card, my network card you see there. And there's the Picasso. And yeah, just kind of brought it all up on her side and just slapped her in there. Oh, please still work. Please still work. Okay, well, here we are. She's all back together, buttoned up. I did not put the screw in her, the single screwdriver, screw bit thingy dingus, you know, right there. Just in case. Always boots 3000, right? Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, here we go. Power button, go! Please flicker. Please flicker. Please flicker. Okay. Oh, 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 yes, yes, yes. Power, do it. Do your business. Please, are you doing your business? Did I do a thing? Come on, please, tell me, please work. Yes, wait, this is important though. Ah, ha, look at that, boom. Oh, yes, the memory. Oh, my fingers making that not work. Yeah, I did a thing, look at that, look at this. 412 megs of RAM. Okay, 412 megs of RAM. 3000. Now I can do all kinds of fun, crazy stuff using Lightwave or Ad Pro. You know, I can go nuts, or I can just go ahead and like sample entire CDs without compressing them. Because what? An average CD is what? Oh, no, that's not going to work. An average CD is like 600 megabytes, right? No, I'll have to compress it. But anyway, we've had success. I know I've had this, you know, I don't know if Kazanov actually watches my videos, but he's like, dude, you bought that for me like, you know, ages ago, and you just now installed it in your 3000. Hey, look, it takes time for me. It takes time for me. But it's in there, it's working, and now the 3000, much like the 4000 over there, and even the 1200, we all have, these are my primary 3D animation workhorse machines. They all now have enough memory to make animation files. And by the way, it's not just Lightwave, like who's loading 400 megs of Lightwave stuff? No, it's the animation, guys. It's the animation. Like, I need to be able to make Ham 8 animation files, and they get huge. They get huge so fast. So I need that memory to play them back so I can show them to you, or I can record them to video, blah, 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 blah. It would be really, if I had like a PAR card, you know, like, you know, the Amiga 2500 that's behind me would be really great if it had like a PAR card in it, and then I could just, you know, compile animation using its thing, and I wouldn't have to worry about memory, blah, 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 blah. PAR is awesome, but I need to get one. I don't have one, so I need to get one. So I'm going to get, I don't know, maybe I'll try and get a PAR card, and then I can share how that works. And some of you are like, what's a PAR card? What is he talking about? What's PAR? PAR is a golf term. Yeah, that's not what I'm talking about. Anyway, memory upgrade worked. Always boots 3000, still booting. Fantastic. Hey, thanks for sticking out with me on another video. I know my videos are what they are, but yeah, awesome. And you know what? I think it's time to say it, right? I'm done with this video.